Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, March 26, 2013. Well, here in New Jersey, it's finally beginning to look a little bit like spring. It was a little bit warm this morning. Well, somebody at Aon didn't get the memo. Apparently, it's a gentleman named Eric Anderson. Insurance Insider is reporting that Mr. Anderson said that many of the smaller Lloyds players do not add value to insurance buyers and worse, create further complications for claims handling. Mr. Anderson is the CEO of Aon Risk Solutions in the Americas. His comments came after ARS agreed to a pioneering transaction with Berkshire Hathaway, Mr. Buffett's company, where the company would take a 7.5% share of all of Aon's subscription business that has a Lloyd participation. Aon has previously said in the past, being very careful of its gigantic size, that sort of diversity was welcome in the Lloyd's marketplace. This is all we can find on this story. The Insider has broken it. Insider also came out with this news from Allstate, the big American property and casualty company. Allstate apparently is pulling a significant chunk of its reinsurance limit from the traditional reinsurance market and putting it into either cat bond or other alternative capacity forms. Apparently, this is the latest example of the squeeze being put on traditional cat underwriters. The U.S. nationwide insurer is expected, apparently according to Insider, to have cut the fifth layer of its Aon Benfield Place nationwide excess of loss in half. So this would mean that Allstate too is experimenting with the insurance-linked securities market. Well, this never fails to amaze me, but North Korea has put its strategic rocket units on the highest alert in order to prepare for possible strikes against the U.S. mainland, Hawaii, and Guam. It marks the latest in fiery rhetoric coming from Pyongyang since the start of joint military drills by the United States and South Korea. The U.S. and South Korea have taken great pains to emphasize that those drills are only defensive in nature. Experts doubt that the North Koreans have any type of long-range rocket that could hit California or, for that matter, Guam or Hawaii. Johnson & Johnson, the world's biggest maker of healthcare products, said it was recalling almost 2 million glucose meters in the wake of the death of a patient in Europe following an inaccurate blood sugar reading. The company's LifeScan unit is recalling the blood glucose meters, including 90,000 that were sold in the U.S. because they either shut off or provide inaccurate readings at extremely high blood sugar levels. The recall affects 3 models, including one sold in the United States called One Touch Vario IQ. This is according to a company spokesman. J&J began to investigate last year when the problem was noticed by internal company testing. Soon after that, a report was received of a European patient who died following an inaccurate low reading on the One Touch Vario Pro, also one of the recalled meters. The errors with the blood sugar meters, which occur at a super high level of 1,024 milligrams per deciliter and higher, are apparently caused by a software problem. Well, here's an interesting story. More than 250,000 Californians live in coastal areas which could be hit by devastating floods from a major tsunami. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, this in coordination with Tsunami Awareness Week, tidal waves of up to 8 meters or more, that's about 25 feet, could hit Northern California following a quake of a magnitude 8 or more from a well-known tectonic fault line. Now, California, of course, did experience some tsunami activity as a result of the Japanese quake 2 years ago. However, there is a well-known fault called the Cascadia Subduction Zone, which runs more than 620 miles from Northern California to Canada's Vancouver Island. That subduction zone has ruptured and created tsunamis at least 7 times in the past 3,500 years, with intervals of anything from 140 years to 1,000 years. The last one was in 1700. If a earthquake occurred in the subduction zone, Northern California would experience a 25 to 30 foot wave less than an hour later. Also, interesting news from the North American Weather Service. If current population trends continued, the already crowded U.S. coast will see a population growth from 123 million to nearly 134 million by 2020. putting even more of the population at risk from extreme coastal storms like Sandy and Isaac. By 2020, 52% of the population will be expected to live in counties that are either on the shore or in counties that drain to coastal watersheds. The report also found that this increase now would be about 39% from 1970 up to 2020 insofar as the number of people who are living along the coast. The question is who's living in the middle, which is where the very valuable agricultural land is. There was a fast-moving fire in London yesterday. It damaged a 107-year-old museum and library, threatening an eclectic trove of artifacts, including relics of the city's Roman period. Hundreds of firefighters fought a massive blaze at the Cumming Museum and Newington Library in Walworth, southeast of London's central area. At one point, the roof was reportedly engulfed in flames. The museum was founded in 1906 using the Cumming family's private collection. It's home to historical artifacts from not only the Roman period of London, but also from China and Africa. It's not clear how much of the museum's collection was damaged, nor whether any of it could be salvaged, nor who insures it. That is the news for today. Tom Bailey will be doing the news from London tomorrow. I will be back hopefully on Thursday. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.